to be able to do that with this charger is an incredible feature. Ladies and gentlemen, great news today. Grasside Smart EV Charger has arrived. This is a 40 amp. This is going to beef up your charging time beautifully, at least a couple hours from a 30 amp. And I'm going to show you all the steps. We're going to go through it. Let's go ahead and get it out, install it, and give ourselves a test charge. Packed up beautifully right here. As we get started, top link in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment, is going to be this exact same smart EV charger where you guys can read more about it and pick it up yourself, of course, after the video is done. Now, there are some charging cards that I removed off of the top of the product because there's the ID number on it. We're going to get into that in this video, but let's go ahead and remove this top covering and we will show you what's going on. Again, your links are in the top link in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment. We got some drywall hooks and screws right here. We got our user guide and our AC EV charger installation user guide right here. Underneath, I've already taken a sneak peek at it, is going to be our Grasside charger. Let's take a look at that bad boy right there. Beautifully square, black. That's not going to look ugly on your wall. Let's get it out, put it up on the wall. Now, I'm covering up the ID number, but these are 5 included RFID cards. Now, what these would do is if you have this charger at your company location, you can give 5 employees, you get the idea, or if it's at a dental office, have these at the reception. And so in the app, you can actually choose this feature where you have to use the RFID card in order to start charging. What that means is that if you have it mounted outside of your business or your home and you don't want people to use it, if you're living in a downtown area and people are just going to pull up to it and start charging and charging you electricity, then you would have to use this RFID card in order to start charging. Now, within the app, you can also do the plug and play, meaning that you literally, just like if it's in your own garage and you don't need this feature, you can do that. Now, I am going to be installing this in my shop. Let me give you a wide angle shot here. Here is my 2025 Tesla Cybertruck. And so I charge it here in my shop. And so I don't need the use of those RFID cards, but that is a really cool feature if you want to go with that. That can all, once again, be configured within the app if you want to use this feature. So great feature for city location, commercial location, just like I stated. That is a great feature that I have not seen on any other smart chargers that I have personally reviewed myself. Make sure you don't bin these cards, keep them in good condition right there. There is also a nice template right here so that you can mount your screws perfectly without guessing. So let's go ahead and get this hung up on the wall. It also does have this little plug area here and a wraparound for your cord here. And the cord length is 25 feet, which is absolutely phenomenal, especially because I am going to be mounting it up here on the wall here by the television. And that needs to go all the way over here to the back of the Cybertruck, which is pretty far in length. I'd say about 18 feet or so, 20 feet. Now, the company does offer a few different models as well, meaning your plug-in state. They have a couple models that have plugs. There's a couple models that don't have plugs if you want to hot wire it straight into a box and not go with a receptacle. But good news, if you are going to be mounting this outside, protection level is IP65. Operation temperature is -22 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit right here. So good for Palm Springs or goodness knows, -22. That is nutter butters. And once again, this is 240 amp. So this is going to give you a beefy charge quickly. Alrighty, folks, a good looking charger. Let's get up there and take a closer look at it. So we got our plug down here. It's a nice long plug from the bottom area here down to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover up my serial number. It is not blinking like that in person. It's just filming it. It does that. So right here we have an A and a T, and we have our RFID chip card reader right there. It says idle, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. There is a plastic little protective thing. You peel that off, of course, just like your cell phone. Nice and glossy. We're in idle mode right here, blue LED. And on the side of it here, we have an emergency shutoff button right there on the, if you're looking at the unit, right-hand side. Alrighty, we got our little mount right here hooked up. Now, in all honesty, this is a review video. I would use different hardware. It's very stripped out a bowl if you are using a compact driver to drive in the. Use some good screws to tighten your things into your studs, etc., in my personal opinion. Okay, what's cool though is this hooks up right here, so you can have it out like this. If you need it a little bit more streamlined, of course, you don't have to do it like that. You could just kind of hook it up and around like that if you want to. Now, there is a little rubberized cover for weatherproofing that a little bit, and that goes right on the end of the unit here. Now, because I have a Tesla, I have to use the adapter, but if you don't use the adapter, you can click it in. The adapter won't be able to do that with the adapter on there like that. So I'm gonna have to just dangle it over, leaving the adapter on there. Sure, you could just put the adapter, set it right here if you really want to, if you really want it looking streamlined, but I think it looks really good right here. All right, 25-foot length. Let's grab our adapter. Let's plug this guy on in. Alrighty, let's move this table saw out of the way just a little bit more so we could see what we're seeing here. Alrighty, so I got my adapter right here. This came with my Cybertruck. I'm gonna go ahead and click that on now right here to the charger. And once again, with the adapter on, it's not able to click. So again, you're just gonna have to wrap it around, leave it dangling like that. All right, let's bring the cable over. I took a nice long road trip yesterday, and yeah, you definitely need that 25-foot length. My cord length is actually almost off the ground, which means I'm probably 22 feet back here from the unit. So with my adapter, let's go ahead and plug on in. I go blue, I go green. Again, I did a long road trip, 76 miles I'm at right now. Let's take a look at my interface. Now, charging, you will have to up your amperage. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this down from 48 to 40 here. And the unit is still in idle mode. So it looks like upon getting and installing your charger, you're gonna have to download the app to get started. Alrighty, I was able to get in with my RFID card. Super simple, just hold it up to this tab right here and it starts charging right away. I'm 41 seconds into charging. I'm gonna go in the settings, get rid of Bluetooth. I don't like Bluetooth on, go over Wi-Fi. And right now we're charging 237.1 volts. 40.71 amps at 1314 kWh. And now we are green right here for charging. Alrighty, let's take a look at my interface once again. We are sitting at 2223 miles per hour charging. Right here, 233, 234 at 40 amp. And it's gonna take 6 hours and 55 minutes to get to 80% charging on this Cybertruck right here. If you have a Tesla, you might have to come into your interface and mess around with your charge current at this location. I have knocked that down to 40 amp. And as you can see here, 6 hours and 55 minutes. If that was 30 amp, that would be probably 9 hours, 9.5 hours. It's quite significant, the difference between 30 amp and 40 amp if you are in the area and ballpark for purchasing a charger. Let's go ahead and take a look at my green indicator symbol right there. Very nice. Nice long cord length once again. We're gonna take a look at the app here in just a second, but something to keep in mind while you are charging. Now, you can schedule charges for non-peak hours over the app, so you literally could plug it in when you get home and it will start charging accordingly to off-peak times, which will save you money alone, which is very beneficial for these smart chargers. Connect it via Wi-Fi, like I said. We're going to be doing that over the app. Now, something to keep in mind, if you are going to be getting the 40 amp, the company does sell a 48 amp one as well. You're going to need the right electrical line, Romex gauge wire going to your breaker box, including the proper breaker, to be able to handle a 40 amp. And you're going to need the proper plug, or the company once again does offer a direct plug-in, kind of hard wiring it in. And what that would do is, if you don't have the proper outlet like I personally do right over here for my EV charger, it looks good on the wall. What I would actually do is I would actually mount it. Now, my walls are a little bit more funkier than yours. So the cord length, again, from the top of the unit down. And again, if you don't have it perfect like me, you can just tuck the cord over there to the left a little bit. But it's a very long cord, as in if you don't want that kind of off to the side look, then you mount it high and then it goes down low and plugs in, etc. This is probably the longest cord length for the bottom of the unit down to the outlet. And then typically you do get about a 25-foot cord length for most of these chargers now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and connect the app. We're gonna get this thing dialed in a little bit, show you what that looks like. But before we do that, I'm covering up the ID, and let me just show you how the RFID cards work. So we're gonna go ahead and scan that like that. Finished. Bada bing, bada boom. You need this to finish it. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna go ahead and test that in just a second here, but watch this. So again, you can configure plug and play in the app or RFID. These are actually really cool. Now, when you are finished, the unit will respond as it needs to be unplugged and plugged back in. So check this out. So my RFID card doesn't restart it, which would be really cool if it did do that. We'll look at the app configurations. So let's say you accidentally discharge your unit. We're gonna have to unplug it here and then plug it back in the truck, and then it will be on standby mode, so that's not gonna go green until now we're back in idle here, and it's authorized, right? So we need to change that within the app, and then we're gonna go ahead and this quick success, wait, charging. How cool. That's a really cool feature. Very cool. Alrighty. Now you do have your settings buttons right here as well. I haven't quite figured out how to use those quite yet. We might have to wait till it's off or in standby mode. The directions do say to hold these down for 3 seconds, but they're not functioning for me. I think it's because it's in locked RFID mode. So I'm gonna try to figure that out as well. But let's go ahead and stop it once again, live right here with you. And bada bing, bada boom, finished right there. And it will say the time frame, etc. Let's go ahead and see if we can get in. Supposed to hold it down for 3 seconds and nothing's happening. Let's push in a little bit deeper. Nothing's happening. Let's get this one. 1, 2, 3. Nothing's happening. Okay, so I think we're locked. I think we need to go in the app like I just said.
All right, let's look at the app a little closer here. So I have Bluetooth disconnected. I personally don't like Bluetooth. Signals weaving all over my house, even though this is a shop away from the house. So right down below, now we're looking absolutely fantastic here. Voltage you see is 246.5. Obviously it is in idle mode, which you can see right below the Grasside logo at the top of your screen. I have connected it via Wi-Fi. You can have your notifications on if you want. And let's go ahead and look at some really cool features of this. So the top left is your personal settings where you can see your email, your login, your app update, etc. I won't do that, personal information there. But let's go ahead and look at top right. You see set electricity price, network settings, factory reset, restart device, charge card management, charging records. So this is pretty cool. This literally will just right here. Obviously, I don't have the right time and date set up, but just my testing, you can see it right here. So the date is 1 date off. So the date obviously needs to be configured. Charge card management. This is pretty cool. So obviously you top right, set it up for your different users, etc. Again, you get 5 of those RFID cards. Firmware upgrade, and I won't click on device sharing because there's personal information there, but you can share the device as well. All right, coming down to bottom left, that little calendar symbol, you go ahead and click that. If enabling scheduled charging, please turn off plug and play first. So plug and charge right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then again, you can schedule it, which is really cool right here. And let me just show you, because this is, again, 40 amp max, but let me just show you this. This is going to be really cool, especially if you want to charge. Maybe let's say your breaker isn't there quite yet. You purchased it and you're like, oh man, I'm tripping a breaker. Let's click it down to 30 amp right here. Now that is on save schedule. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the main menu. Now I don't have to use the RFID chip. Current right there is 40 amp. Let's click that down. As you can see, the little slider bar I'm doing right there. Now it's set to 30 amp. So let's go ahead and plug this in. And what we just said, literally, it was going to take 6 hours and 55 minutes ballpark for 40 amp. We are charging right now, and in the app, you can see it says charging right above the picture of the EV charger. Now, we might have to go to the interface. There we go. Just took about 10 seconds before the app clicked on. It says current amperage 30.52. Power watts is now 7.31 difference. Let's go ahead and switch over cameras and let me show you the inside once again. And just like I suspected, my interface has automatically switched down to 30 amp right here, as you can see.
And now we are charging 9 hours, as you can see right here as well, 30 amp, 30 amp, and now you're charging for 9 hours. That's the difference between 30 amp and 40 amp, is that literally was 2 hours and 5 minutes difference in charging time getting to my charge limit of 80%. Now, I did charge for a few miles during the testing of this video that I already showed you, but what were we? We were at like, I forgot how many miles per hour, but now we're down to 17. But regardless, it's adding 2 more hours for charging time just going down to 30 amp. But to be able to do that with this charger is an incredible feature, to be able to regulate a lower amperage if you haven't gotten an electrician over quite yet, or raising that up once again. So right here with you, let me just actually, I think we might have to do that in the app. Let me, yeah, my Tesla won't even let me do it. So I have to do it over the app right here. So let me slide that bar up to 40 amp. Let me see how long it takes my computer on my Tesla to engage that, because right now my app is 40 amp. Let's see here. It should be smart enough to be able to understand that. Or I might have to do it manually myself, or I would have to unplug it and plug it back in. Maybe my Tesla's not as super awesomely smart as I thought it was. Yeah, it's not even letting me, it's letting me go down, but 30 amp max. And so I think what I would have to do with the Tesla is unplug it and plug it back in so my computer can register that proper. Or no, it should be a little bit more smarter than that. Let's go ahead and stop charging. And now we should be able to start charging. No, anywho, you guys get the idea. My Tesla, I would have to unplug it, plug it back in, or it's going to take longer, and I don't want to sit here and film the whole time. But you get the idea of regulation between the different amperages. But if you're switching back to 40, even though the app says 40 here, my Tesla needs to be unplugged, plugged back in so the computer can kind of register that and not hold it on 30 amp, because I'm not being able to adjust that right now. Downwards, yes. It says right there, maximum 30 amp at this location. Anyway, now we're up to 9 hours and 10 minutes. Oh, now we're back down to 8 hours and 55 minutes. So sometimes the computer's a little bit wonky donkey as it kind of senses everything. It might transfer it over in a few more minutes once it understands that the compatibility, who knows, not exactly sure. Okay, figured it out. I had to push stop charging on the app, and then I'm able to my computer sensed it now, and then I hit start charging on my Tesla via the app, whatever you want to do. 6 hours and 45 minutes, as we can see, with 40 amperage now. A lot quicker. Alrighty, once again, I clicked it back over to 30 amp. And very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I like the features of this charger, especially for a business location or a busy outside downtown area. You guys get the idea. You've seen the videos online where people pull in driveways, they're charging their Teslas, and you're like, this is personal property, and you definitely don't want that happening all the time for your electric bill. Also, with the schedule feature to be able to go off peak hours, that's a big heads up. I like that. I like that. Not to mention you can do it over Wi-Fi. I connected it via Bluetooth and then turned Bluetooth off, and I can do everything now over Wi-Fi, which is great because I'll be honest with you, having a smart charger now for off-peak hours, that's the house way over there, especially in the wintertime. You don't want to park way over here, walk all the way over there, walk back in the snow to plug it in at off-peak hours. Now, when you get home, you simply plug it in just like this here, and then it will automatically click on for your scheduled off-peak hours if that's what you want to do for your charging. Big thumbs up in my book, ladies and gentlemen. Like everything we've already talked about, great charger. Really love the RFID feature as well. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, in the description box below the video will be this exact same charger by Grasside. You guys can read more about it, see their other ones they do make. They're 48 amp if you have the breaker for it. That will be even quicker to charge. But just like all my videos, please don't go into debt for anything I do make a video about. But if you do have the cash and it does intrigue you, go ahead and purchase on away. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button on the way out, helps the channel. Also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, as well as many other amazing Tesla and tech videos. Once again, your links are in the description box, as well as the pinned comment for this charger. I will see you on the next video. My name's Chris. Take care for now. Bye-bye.